Guys, September 15th. That's Septiembre 15 for our Spanish-speaking audience. September 15th. Go to youtube.com/Christy Comedy for the premiere of Mike Cannon's brand new special, Traumatized Animal. He absolutely annihilated, okay? So go watch it. Go share it with your friends, with your family, share it with your enemies, share it with people you like, share it with whomever you think needs to be shared with, because this kid absolutely crushed this special. And if you literally do not watch this special and share it, then he's going to have to sell one of his children. So it's your choice if you want to be involved in that market or not, then...
Yeah. If you're looking for a kid, then, you know, hit me up afterwards. But yes, Chrissy D also produced it. That's why it's going on his channel, his first ever production. Watch it, share it around so he gets to make more of these things. Yep. And, you know, share comedians with his fan base, which he's been so generous with me to do.
That's right. I'm a producer. And from now on, call me C. Diddy. Welcome to Chrissy Chaos. Hello, hello, hello. We got a special episode today. We got a solo blow-low. That's right, folks. It's just me and you. I like it. Okay, we didn't do a guest. We didn't do anything. We just said, it's Chrissy, baby. Welcome to the show. Thank you, everyone who supported me for all these years. Thank you. You know, you guys have kept me away from multiple suey wooies, but might still get one. Vito's foot is broken. Vito Calise is here. Vito Babymouth, he's in a cast. John the father, Grady here with, or as we know, as you'll come to know him as John IDF Head. And it's just a good crew of peeps I have. We got Jaz upstairs yelling at the kids, being sweet. Jaz is a sweet girl.
Jaz is the best.
Jaz is the best. Beautiful smile. Jasmine has a beautiful smile. That's a big thing with a person, is you look at someone's smile, and I think that's what initially drew me to her, is because her smile. She has like these beautiful dimples and just a good smile.
I agree. I mean, I'm a big Jaz fan. I enjoy talking to Jaz.
Yeah.
Before you get here, we usually do like a pre-show with Jaz.
Yeah, that would actually be good for the Patreon, just to do the pre-show, just you guys in the house without me talking to Jaz. Because I'm never here when you guys get here.
No,
I'm almost exclusively never here.
Never once. I don't think.
It is
we
always
just walk in your house, dude. The crazy thing too is you'll be away for a week, and I'll be like, oh, I think I left something at your house, and you'll say you could probably just go into the back and get it.
I don't. I have no locks on the doors, but make no mistake. Make no mistake. If you ever tried to break into my home, you would not have to worry about me. You would have to worry about Jasmine, because the thing with Jasmine is, and I guess I'm sure a good amount of women out there, but the thing with Jasmine is she is constantly, she can constantly convince herself that she is in fight or flight to protect her children. So if you came in the house and tried to break in, she would murder you, because in her mind, she's saying, I'm not scared for me. I'm scared that you're going to get past me and get to my kids. So therefore, I will kill you and think about the consequences later. So you never really want to like piss a mom off in nature in general. That's just like a rule. And especially the Puerto Rican in the wild, you do not want to piss that woman off.
I think this is a great time to talk about Kim, the UPS bandit. She's a Latina mother.
Yes.
I think she's from Brooklyn.
Right. Let's get her up.
Her TikTok, I started sending her TikTok a while ago.
Yeah, and she is openly using crack.
Not anymore. No, the whole thing is she's beaten crack.
Right.
But she had to wean herself off of it.
She was for a little while using cck live on TikTok.
Yes. She was. And then there was a point where she was saying, y'all, I'm down to 2 a day.
Here we go. Hawk 2 a day. Here's my girl. And that's her daughter?
Roll up on me. This is his wife, so don't try to get out into the comments. Holla back, young.
She looks fantastic.
She does, right?
Holla back, young, in 59 days.
59 days. You already know it's the voice of the trap. We bigger mama up. Make sure we keep her lit. Let's keep her going. 59 days, that shit gonna turn to
59 days sober, no crack.
59 days, no crack. John, why don't you go down far on the page and like pull up like early Kim UPS.
I love
videos.
I love doing bits on this podcast that Vito wants to do but is not allowed to do on his Mets podcast. I love that Vito probably wants to ask Harrison Bader about this cracked woman, but he can't. So instead he asked me. Bader's
Yo, I can't
twin.
believe your friends told me they like love my podcast. That was
They love,
crazy.
dude. The thing is, man, you know, Mets fans are hardcore.
Well, your boy started screaming at me about the levels, and I thought he was talking about this podcast.
No.
He was like, I can't hear you talk. And then I was like, oh, like I checked like we're good. And then he was like, no, not on fucking Chris's podcast. I'm talking about Meat at the Apple.
Yeah. What is the premise of your podcast? You guys just talk about the Mets? Or is it talking about the games? And
Talking about the games, we interview players, we talk to Carlos Mendoza like once a week almost, like
Right.
And we do series recaps, but we work for the team. So this is like, look, there's a ton of Mets podcasts out there where you could get people, the sky is falling, it's all ending. We're telling you like why you don't have to freak out, like why everything should even out. And we said that all year. We said that in May when the team was doing bad, and look where the Mets are right now. So that's what the podcast is.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm into baseball again. I wasn't into baseball for a couple of years, but then baseball is such a fun sport to watch because it really, really, really does relax you, and you feel so relaxed. And then boom, something big happens, and you get like a shock of adrenaline. I always find myself waking up more as the game's going on because I'm like on the edge of my seat.
It's the only sport where you can go from being down 2-0 in like that being up 4-2. Like
Yeah,
there's no
just-
sport like that.
No. And yeah, I also went to oh, by the way, we're going to talk about Crack Lady some more, but because I want to talk, I actually would love to get her on the podcast. What is her actual real name?
Kim.
I want to talk to Kim because Kim, you just in these videos that when John just scrolled down, I mean, you could just see her health improving. Right? Is she drinking beer and smoking cigarettes and doing everything out? Like,
I don't know. I mean, like, she's one of those people that just pops up on my TikTok. Like, I don't follow her, but she shows up every day, and people are so happy for her. People are so proud of her, and she's got a great personality. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's New York City, so like, this is just like an old school Brooklyn Puerto Rican woman.
Well, I was going to say, this woman, I most likely have walked past her in the street randomly multiple times in my life.
Probably.
So she's and so we'd love to get her on the pod. You know, she's saying crack is whack and she's beating it, so good for her. But speaking of crack, you know, here's the difference, right? The last 3 birthdays for Jasmine, we've went to Sicily, we've went to Puerto Rico, and we've went to London. Okay, where do you think she took me for my 40th birthday? The one time she planned a trip, and she said, "Where are we going?" And this was a surprise. I was not allowed to know about this.
All right. I'm going to guess just because like we went to Pitbull a few weeks ago, maybe that was like a setup. Miami?
Nope. Where do you think we went?
Los Angeles.
Nope.
Vegas.
Baltimore.
What?
I took her to Sicily, London, and Puerto Rico, and she says, "I'm going to pay you back for this, babe. Happy 40th birthday. Here's your coach class Amtrak ticket. We're going to Baltimore." How great is that?
Was it even a capital?
No, Annapolis is the capital, which I did make her drive to on our second
Do you
day
think
there.
you have a little bit of The Good Doctors?
What's the Good Doctors?
You ever hear the show The Good Doctor?
No.
It's a show about a doctor, a surgeon, and the whole premise is he has autism.
You think me liking the Capitals could be that's what, by the way, that's the code name now for autism. We'll say the Good Doctors.
Like the way that you just cream your pants over capitals.
It's a little like stimmy.
It's not like it's the way some people talk about trains. Like you ever get somebody going about the subway?
Bro, you telling me that Disney adults have big gums and small teeth? Sometimes it's the first thought I think of as soon as I wake up. You sitting there telling me that, when my feet hit the floor, I think of it. Because then I've met a couple of people who are Disney adults, and that they do have that. They do have that.
They got the dolphin teeth, the Aaron Judges.
But bro, I will tell you, Baltimore was actually awesome. We stayed at the hotel. Why am I blanking on the hotel name? Oh, what the hell? Oh, the Pendry. The Pendry Hotel in Baltimore, We stayed there. It is gorgeous, right in Fells Point. And then we went to a Baltimore Orioles game.
Oh, nice. Camden.
Dude, Camden Yards, I honestly think Citi Field is in the top 3, but I think Camden Yards is the best ballpark in all of Major League Baseball.
Camden Yards is the blueprint. Like that was the first of like these modern ballparks that everything kind of followed after.
Yeah, I mean Utah Street on Camden Yards, like that street that's got all bars and restaurants in the back of the stadium, is like amazing.
Do you remember the riots years ago?
Freddie Gray, I believe.
They had to play the first empty ballpark game at Camden Yards, and this was before COVID.
Really?
So they played an empty arena, an empty stadium game years ago, and there were riots happening right outside.
And the Orioles just kept playing.
Well, it was planned, like knowing the riots were going to happen.
Oh, got it. For safety. Yeah, it's one of those ballparks where, like, anywhere you sit, you feel like you have a good seat.
I've never been. I really want to go.
You got to go. It was awesome. We went on Amtrak. There was a hair in my cheese. By the way, a new fun fact about me, I'm pretty consistently eating cold cheeses. For the longest time, I could not eat a piece of cold cheese. I could only eat melted cheese.
I'm like 100% sure if it wasn't last week, it's coming up now. You have a live read where you say you don't even like eating cheese.
Well, in this moment, I feel like telling you I eat cold cheeses because I do. And the cold cheese, it did have a hair on it, but the cold cheese that was served on Amtrak was actually pretty good.
Okay, and you said a hair in it?
It had a hair in it. And Jasmine's thing, if a hair's on your food, okay, do you remove it and keep eating it, or can you not eat that piece of food again? Because I can remove the hair and keep eating it, where Jasmine is vomit, like dry heaving, and can't even eat her meal at all.
Yo, I did a wild thing one time. I was at a Knicks game, and I got an ice cream, and there was a hair in it. And then I noticed it before I even touched the ice cream. And then I ate 90% of the ice cream, put the hair back, and then I went up to the cashier and I said, "Hey, there's a hair in my ice cream."
Oh my God.
And they were like, "You ate the whole thing?" I was like, "No, it melted."
Oh, and did they give you another
And
ice
they were
cream?
like, "You still ate it?" And I was like, "There's still a hair in it though."
Yeah.
And then I got them to give me a brand new ice cream.
Fatty Vito.
Fat drunk, just like wasted at a Knicks game in
Yeah.
the middle of a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, dude, I love a Saturday afternoon sport. I'm going to go to the Mets game this Saturday. I think it's 4 o'clock.
4
against the
o'clock, you're
Reds.
going?
Yeah, you're going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Dude, let's do it. Wait, Jazz, I'm coming with you. Why? Because you won't. Because you get mad at me if I eat food with hairs on it. Remember there was a hair on my cheese and I ate it still? In Baltimore when you took me on my big 40th birthday trip to Baltimore.
I love how grateful you are. First of all,
I am grateful.
you're so ungrateful. Like, I'm a spin instructor. What did you expect?
You to use my credit
What did
card
you
and take me to
expect?
Italy?
Then next time I'll do that.
No, honestly, Jazz,
No,
I really
it came
know.
out of my pocket.
No, Jazz, I really want
I
to.
planned the whole thing for you, and all you do is complain about it. Well, you know what?
I really want to say honestly, like it really was like I really was appreciative of you taking me to Baltimore. It was like one of the greatest.
Shut up.
No, I did. I wasn't
Yeah,
feeling well.
even.
I wasn't feeling well. But the dinner that we went to, the kind of just walking around, the mundaneness of each day, it was really nice to share those times with you. It really was. I really had
That's how you describe it, mundane.
No, I mean like if there was like a moment that like we weren't doing anything, it was just really nice to just be kind of sitting there. You picked a great room in the pool, which we didn't go into, and I really like. I would love to. I want to for my 41st birthday. I want to go to Trenton, New Jersey. Will you take me to Trenton, New Jersey for my 41st birthday? What? You're not taking me anywhere, girl? So I had a great birthday. It does feel different to be 40. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, you're very young. John's in his 20s, Vito's in his early 30s. Jazz has been 40 for a long time. And she didn't tell me, though, because she hit 40 first. She's a few months older than me. And it does feel different being 40. I do feel kind of... you know what I feel like? I feel like... Yes, I know I'm young and we're younger. I get it. But 40 kind of starts, I'm at the very beginning of getting older. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not young, even though I feel young, like kind of society, like you're not young when you're in your 40s. I feel like you're 20s and 30s, you're still very young.
You're out of the prime demo. Like nobody's marketing towards you anymore.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's probably what I'm feeling is like.
But that's been for 2 years, 18 to 38. That's the prime demo, right?
Right.
Males 18 to 38. That's like where advertisers make their bread and butter.
Right. I think so. But I'm now being 40, I'm like, it also feels different than saying I'm 39. Like when you say you're 30, whatever, it's like, I guess, but when you hear 40, it's like automatic. It's like, oh, you're kind of older.
But you didn't feel that at 30? Because I turned 30 last year, and I remember like the week it didn't affect me whatsoever. And then the week leading up, I was like, oh, like I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Right.
So did you feel that when you turned 30 or no?
No, I kind of feel like, to be honest.
Did your big career boost happen at 30?
No. Well, no, I started comedy when I was about 26. I got on Letterman when I was 29, but I didn't start selling actual tickets. I didn't start selling tickets.
How old were you when Hyenas started?
Hyenas that started in 2017. So I was 30, 34.
Okay.
Yeah, 34. 2018, so I was 34. I did not start selling tickets in this like actual like, where it's viable to like go on the road until really 2021. So right after the pandemic. So I was already 37 years old when I started selling tickets. So I was already like I waited like a long time.
So you were still just grinding your entire 30. So
Grinding.
probably I guess it didn't hit you because you were like
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the weird thing. I had things going on. I was doing TV shows or whatever, but none of it was translating. Nobody wanted to see me live, like nobody. And then
how old were you at the sitcom?
I was 30, 1984, 2016. So I was 30. What is that? 32.
Okay, so like right at the beginning of your 30s, you had like that first.
Yeah, like I genuinely thought when I had that sitcom, I was like, oh, I'm young, 32. Like this is going to be awesome. By the time I'm 40, I'm going to be in syndication. Like I thought all those things. And now here I am, 40, wearing women's glasses. And, but yeah, 40, it's just like, I feel good because I feel healthy. I feel strong, and all that. But I do feel like, because people always ask you, oh, it's your birthday, how do you feel, blah, blah, blah. And I've kind of like always been like, whatever, just another day. But 40 feels different. Like, I immediately got a text from, like an automated text from my doctor, like, hey, happy birthday, you're 40, like from our office, whatever, like, which everybody gets. But then the next text was, if to hit this link to schedule your colonoscopy. So it's like 40 starts the age where they're like, hey, if things are going to break down in your body, you're probably going to happen. It's going to happen like in this decade. So like, let's test and prevent what we can prevent. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, the sushi's here. Should we just stop down and eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Sushi break.
This is a sushi break. I want to talk to you right now about America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. You're probably screaming at your phone right now going, I know it's Prize Picks. I know it's Prize Picks. And you're right.
Just in time for football season, baby.
How great is that?
I can't wait.
How great is that? Football's back. Prize Picks has deals for us. It makes the game so much fun. All you do for Prize Picks is you pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and that's it. You watch the winnings roll in. It's really like they've made it like really, really fun.
It's awesome because it's the best way to get action on sports in most states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. It really makes you feel like you're part owner.
Yes. Yeah, it does. For example, also another big thing, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks.
That's
it's
sick.
Awesome. So, and you could play against, you could play Prize Picks alongside people you love, like Drewski and Joe Budden and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley.
My son loves Sugar Sean O'Malley.
I love Sugar Sean O'Malley.
He's the best.
Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. I like it. So here's an example. Basically, it's fun and simple. Like you can have Tyreek Hill going for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards, or you can have Josh Allen going for less than 240 passing yards and CeeDee Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. So you kind of have dual action happening.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Hedge your bets.
Hedge your bets. Right now, download the Prize Picks app and use the code CHAOS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CHAOS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Guys, I'm so happy to tell you that this show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
That's right.
Mike and I both use BetterHelp.
I do, especially lately, because I haven't had time to just see anybody in person. So I went straight to BetterHelp to link me with a therapist that was right for me.
Here's what I love about BetterHelp. It's all done online. So you can just hang out at home. You can do therapy with no pants on. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go into a brick and mortar, and you can change your therapist for free whenever you want. You fill out a brief questionnaire, and then BetterHelp matches you with a therapist that they think works best for you.
It's honestly like mental health Tinder. It's perfect.
Yes.
And as soon as you go on that first date with somebody and they don't seem right, you're like, all right, I'm going to choose another therapist, and they mix you with somebody else.
And you know what I like about therapy? It can help you reconnect your sense of wonder, because your back to school era can come at any age. A lot of times people are like, they think they're depressed, or maybe they are depressed and like, my life, I don't do anything anymore, blah, blah, blah. And you find out you're just depressed. But BetterHelp can help you with all that. And like I said, it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/chaos today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chaos, 10% off your first month. That was a great sushi break. We're back. And then I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I don't want to lie to you guys. We ate sushi together as a family at the table, all of us, Jaz, the kids. And then I went into the kitchen, what you guys thought was throwing away my garbage. But what I actually did was ate 3 spoonfuls worth of cookie butter. Oh, there's a little gremlin in the back. There's a little mad baby in the back. Violet, you have to go over there. What are you mad about? You're such a little. There's a little ferret in the house. There's a little raccoon. There's a little wild raccoon. It's like crazy. My little 3-year-old daughter, it's like she wakes up in the morning and her hair is like wild, and she'll come down with just like a blanket and like a diaper on, or like whatever she slept in, and she just like raids the fridge. She's like a little wild rabid raccoon.
She makes great faces. I noticed that back in Atlantic City.
Listen, here's the thing. Everyone says their kids are the best and talented and all that. I do. I love my kids. They really do. Violet's faces that she can make draws you in, and Delilah's personality, like her personality, like she's just like, I watch her with the other kids. I'm like, oh, she's like 5 years older than everybody.
Yeah.
And she can sing, and she says she doesn't want to do comedy, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, you want more for your children than you.
By the way, we were just talking about hairs on the food. There was a hair in my sushi, and I removed it. You almost by the way, you almost never see that from an Asian restaurant.
No.
Asian restaurant, Asian Asian-owned restaurants play by the rules much more than other nationalities. Asians, when you go in there, hairnets, masks, proper hand washing. I want to have a restaurant that serves Italian food that's owned and operated and ran by Asian people.
Would you say top tier?
Top tier. Oh, there's little monsters back again. There's little monsters. And now we have to edit you out. Come on, get over. My other daughter is telling my little daughter to get here like she's a dog.
She's talking to her like
All
a
right,
dog.
fine. Maybe. Okay. Give me a kissy. I love you. All right, come on. Baby, but Daddy's doing work. Oh, we're going to go on the trampoline. Good. You want to say something? What do you want to say? What do you want to say to your classmates? Okay.
I'm a little doggy.
You're a little doggy? Okay. All right, baby, come on. We got to do the show.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I love you.
I'm going to leave you alone in here.
All right. You going to leave me alone in here? Oh. She almost took out a camera.
Wouldn't be the first time.
My baby, I love you. Give me my pants back. What was I talking about?
You were talking about how Asians are the best at restaurant owning.
Asian-owned restaurants. Asians are top-tier people. We need more Asians on the podcast.
This is a stark difference from you a few years ago.
Why? What did I say a few years ago?
You said Asians were the enemy.
That's right. Oh, and History Hyenas.
And on comedy.
I know. I look back at some History Hyenas bits. I used to literally, in a laughing voice, look at Giannis and say, when it's over 95 degrees, Asians aren't safe around me. I would say that.
I remember that.
Giannis wouldn't even like bat an eye. He would just be like, cuz it's wild. Line of 14. Leroy, classic bit. But yeah, I think Asians top tier. Bro, it's wild. This Kathy Hochul stuff, the governor of New York, her top aides, like her top helpers are, because what is an aide? What, a government
like an
aide?
assistant? I don't know.
An assistant, why not just say aide? But they were arrested for spying for China.
But what does it like? And you know what? When we had the CIA agent on,
CIA agent or Asian?
when we had the CIA guy on,
Yes.
last year,
Yeah, great guy.
I asked him. I was like, "What does even what is like a spy in 2024?" Because like I honestly don't understand what information an aide is getting that's like that valuable.
I think that, by the way, the Chinese female spies are always hot. So they are the top country. They do the most honeypotting. They are the queens of the honeypots. That's what they do to get information, because she's beautiful Asian girl. And so I think that probably they were here, I think, just getting information, like secret information from the governor of New York, and just, I guess somehow they can use that in China.
But like for what? Like what is so specific to New York that like the Asian government is like, this is part of our long-term plan? I just don't. I'm not saying it's
It
fake.
could be something with real estate. It could be.
That makes the most sense.
I genuinely think like, future people are going to look back at this time and be like, oh, like we might be in, I don't want to say World War III. I know a lot of people say that, but it's like, this is a type of warfare where they're like buying up, like, I mean, right? Could that be possible?
100%. I have a friend who's a real estate accountant, and he told me that like these giant skyscrapers you see going up around the city, nobody lives in them. They're just like money laundering fronts for like international business.
So they will remain vacant. That's the plan. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like they don't care if people rent it, because like they could just claim that they could just make up people living there and say that they're paying like X.
Yeah,
amount of money.
they're not doing it to get money. They're doing it to clean their money.
Exactly.
Right. I want to live in one of those puppies, though.
You
so
should.
maybe we can negotiate a good deal then.
You could probably get a good deal. You see the empty floors on there?
Where?
On the skyscraper? Those are for wind to pass through because they're so thin and tall.
The garbage can building, in Midtown.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. I think that I don't love those sky rises, and I don't love sunglasses. I'm going to be honest with you. Seeing the world through dark frames like I've been wearing for the first 20 minutes, it actually makes my mood, I feel like depressed. I really do. Like when I do this and I see, boom, there's light, there's bright lights, I feel hopeful. Here, I don't. I feel sad and depressed. And I think I understand that sun damages your eyes, but I think they also damage your heart.
So you just want to stare at the sun. You just want to take the sun in 100%.
I want to stare at the sun. I want to,
Hey, how's Pitbull?
Dude, Pitbull, dale. First of all, did you see he reposted the clip?
John told me.
Dude, I put up a bit about my experience at the Pitbull concert. And if you go on my YouTube, I did a whole 20-minute stand-up bit. It's called How White People Act at a Pitbull Concert. It's up on my YouTube, youtube.com/Chrissy Comments.
When I saw that title, because you were texting me the day before about how nuts I went at Pitbull, I was terrified.
Really?
I literally like.
So it was a good title, though, then. You thought that title was a good title.
It was, but I was afraid that it was going to be making fun of me.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Oh, my God. We should have put that picture in of you like that. And so, yeah, it's doing well. 100,000 views, Poppy. 108,000 views. That we don't get that even with podcasts. numbers after 3 days.
Not in a while.
No.
It's been a while.
So that's good.
You hear that, people?
Yeah, it's been a while, but you're coming back. So I did a bit about Pitbull because it was so much fun to just be at that concert. First of all, one of the best parts of a Pitbull concert is watching T-Pain. T-Pain is amazing, incredible, a headliner in his own right, has so many banging songs, and he was just being fun and funny, like...
Doesn't do any of his own songs, really. Does, like, mostly other people's songs.
Other people's songs, but crushes it. And then he was just saying such hilarious stuff. He was like, I'm killing for you motherfuckers in a bathing suit. And people were like, woo!
What was your favorite Pitbull intro to a song?
I liked when he said, what did he, what like his sayings when he said,
Turn a negative.
Turn a
negative into a positive.
Turn a negative into a positive. A negative into a positive. A negative into a what?
Positive.
A what?
Positive.
When I say negative, you say positive. Negative.
Positive.
Negative.
Positive.
Dale.
Dale. And then, bro, it was unbelievable. And then I said in the front, in the clip about it, I was like, I had an arrow pointing to a girl not laughing. I was like one of Pitbull's dancers. And supposedly some of Pitbull's dancers started like getting in the comments being like, that she ain't, if she thinks she a Pitbull dancer, she's lying. She is not Pitbull material. Like they were just talking shit about this girl.
Dude, I didn't expect him to do a 5-minute like speech about how like you have to like fight every day and like you have to work hard and it all is worth it. And then like talk about the school he started.
Bro, at the end of a Pitbull concert, one of the best things he does is at the end, you know, he crushes it. The music is great. You're having a great time. It's literally a party. And then at the end, he tells you like about the school that he built in the neighborhood he grew up in. He built a school for like, you know,
Slam.
What? Slam schools.
The name of the school was Slam.
Oh, Slam schools. And he built, what is this person? Hold on. We're going to read some of these comments in a second. Pitbull built this school in a neighborhood that he grew up in for like disadvantaged youth, like really the kids who need it. So Pitbull's like an overall great guy.
Because he showed that a teacher, when he was a kid, a teacher is the one who like told him that he could be somebody. And
his teacher's the one who changed a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
Loved it.
A negative into a what?
Positive.
A what?
Positive.
Dale.
Somebody commented on my Pitbull.
He's actually an influencer. He's very funny.
Yeah, somebody commented on my Pitbull video. Frankie Drago said, I do not support this man. He walked into my uncle's funeral, interrupted the priest in the middle of the service, went up to the casket and guessed his waist size, 36, 34. He was correct, but it was extremely inappropriate.
You know what we should do? People should put up a picture of themselves, tag you on Instagram, and ask you to guess their waist size.
Yes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Put it up, tag me, and I'll guess it.
Put up a story, tag Chrissy Comedy, say guess my waist size, and Chris will guess your waist size.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Oh, Are You Garbage? I'll be on Are You Garbage tomorrow or whenever it comes out. Listen, you know life can be crazy sometimes. Life be so crazy.
It sure do.
And one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. If you're injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars.
That's right. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. With over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy.
Knowing that your foot's going to break once every 2 years is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy.
Walking around with a size 17 boot is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy.
Yeah, baby. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free, unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/chaos or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/chaos or pound law pound 529 from your celly smelly. This is a paid advertisement. Yeah, so the Pitbull concert was awesome. I actually believe I had COVID and didn't tell anybody, but I was like, it's outside. I was sick, dude. I got sick. I started getting sick that day, and then the next day we went to Baltimore, and I just like was not feeling. No, I'm sorry. That was the day we came back from Baltimore, and I was like not feeling good. Remember when I was sitting in here and you guys came in?
Yeah.
You know, you girls, and I was like feeling like I have 102-degree fever. I was like, I don't want to do anything. I want to like just go to sleep. But Jaz was like, no, we gotta go because she thought he was in cahoots, my manager and all that. They thought Pitbull was going to shout me out for my birthday on the stage, but then he didn't. So she was like, if I would have known you weren't going to get shouted out, I would have said, just stay home. Just stay home. And, you know, you still went to the suite. Everyone could have enjoyed the party, but like you were sick.
It would have been weird if you didn't go, though.
Yeah.
Really? Would it though?
That'd be really weird.
Why would that be weird? You're in the suite.
Although, you know what? Patty Clips did tell me yesterday that he was like, yeah, I came here once with Chris. And I was like, oh, you came to a game with Chris? He goes, well, no, actually, I went with Emilio because Chris just decided not to go at the last second. So I was in the owner's suite with Emilio.
Oh, at the Forest Hill Stadium?
No, at a Mets game.
Oh, yeah.
He said you just canceled at the last second, and it was
Was
him
it
and
because I
Emilio.
was, well, I think I don't remember 100% if it was probably last season, right?
Yeah, not this year. Last year.
Because there was a couple of times last season where I would go to a Mets game. You know, going to go to a Mets game. Me and Jaz were going to go. And then one time our babysitter canceled last minute. And then the other time we were going to go to the Mets game. But we were looking at, it was going to take us from Staten Island to get to Citi Field like 3.5 hours. So we were like, well, I'm not doing this.
But it would have been weird if you didn't come to the
Very
suite.
weird.
If you didn't come, I probably would have left.
If you did it, you're telling me if I was not at that suite, which was for my birthday, that was all provided for you guys with free tickets, you would have left because I wasn't there?
It would have felt
It would have
weird.
felt like a funeral because we're like here to remember
dude,
Chris.
I have one word to say about that. Robert.
How many burgers did you eat?
Oh my God. So I tried to be healthy, right? I tried to go keto. So I was like, let me just eat the meat. So I'm just I'm just eating the meat, no bun. And then Tank Sinatra, who was absolutely shredded jacked, he was like, dude, if you're going to eat a burger, put the bread on it. And then he grabbed a burger and took a bite out of it. He was like, I look like this and I'm eating bread. I was like, you're on steroids, you fuck. But dude, those burgers, they put like an onion kind of, is it glaze or like an onion like marmalade or something? Did you eat one?
They were delightful.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
There was like an onion.
The empanadas were great.
Empanada. That was all Jasmine. All Jasmine picked out that food, did all that. The cake was great. Shout out Martha's Bakery, Forest Hills. Cake was great.
Cake the stadium got for you.
Oh, the cake the stadium? Oh, shout out Luba. Shout out Luba. Great guy. Mike Luba runs Forest Hill Stadium. Really awesome
When
guy.
Tank Sinatra introduced himself to John, he introduced himself by his like government name, and he said, and John.
Oh, he introduced himself as George?
And John responded, "Oh, I know who you are."
Yeah, you are Tank Sinatra. Dude, Tank Sinatra looks good.
Yeah,
Dude, he's on the gas station. You ever
I know.
at the pump? And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, and he's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah. One day I was pumping gas. Same thing. It was like early morning. I'm pumping gas, and I see he comes on. So I was filming him, and I was like filming it like him, but like in the background I was going like I was making moaning sounds, like just messing around, whatever. But then you get like lost in it, and then I put the phone down and put it in my pocket, turned around to put the pump in it, and I swear to God, it was a mom and all of her kids with the windows down, just watching me moan and film the gas station guy. But dude, Pitbull. I will tell you this. Forest Hill Stadium might be the best venue in New York City, outdoor venue to view a concert at.
It's incredible.
Dude, it's so historical, right in the middle of a residential neighborhood. Awesome, dude.
You know your neighbors want it to go kaput.
My neighbors, I got certain neighbors that are trying to get Forest Hill shut down. Well, you are not going to get Forest Hill Stadium shut down. No way.
It's actually pretty interesting of why. So, like, it was a major concert venue, like in the late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
And then it was dormant until like 2013.
Right.
So all these people who like spent all this money on like these beautiful Forest Hills mansions and everything,
Right.
they
Right.
didn't expect to live near a gigantic concert venue.
Right.
But it's a beautiful place, and it's such a nice spot. They have a pool. They have like actual tennis courts, a nice bar.
Yeah. Dude, here's the thing. Forest Hill Stadium, you think you can shut us down? Yeah, right. Capture that with a Kodak. Better yet, go to Times Square. What does he say? What's the lyrics?
I don't know. We don't want to get demonetized.
No, the lyrics of Pitbull when he goes, me not working hard. Yeah, right. Is it
That's
capture
your guy.
that with a
No,
Kodak?
yeah, picture that with a Kodak.
Oh, yeah, picture. I said capture that. What a fucking asshole
Dude, did you
you are,
know how
Chris.
big of a Pitbull fan John was?
I love Pitbull.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
No. You don't understand. John, every single...
oh, you mean the guy who only dates women who don't speak English and only speak Spanish?
Every time Pitbull did one of his like his sequences where he would go in and out of songs, John would hear like one or two of the words he would say, and he would go, "Oh, this is a great one coming up right now."
You know,
It was a sick show. It was sick.
honestly, that to me was one of the best. That was like the best show I've ever seen at that stadium, and it had all the choreography. It had all like the video component. It was like a dope Like, let's be honest, man. Pitbull is a stadium act. I mean, he could have done. I mean, I think Pitbull could sell a giant stadium if he wanted to, right? I mean, he's humongous.
What'd you like about the choreography?
I liked and I respected the women dancing, and I liked them for their dancing.
She walked away.
Okay, yeah. I really liked the choreography. The dancers were. It's kind of like what I like about where Jasmine and I are now, again, just both being 40, is she knew like the dancers were dancing, clapping their asses everywhere. And she was like, just have fun. Just look, it's your 40th birthday. I don't care. I was like, great. But then I took it too far. I was just stroking my beef in public. Could you imagine you looked over and I was fully stroking it in the suite?
Ferociously masturbating.
Yeah,
next to the... Did you notice like the bar mitzvah next to us?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like just like a completely filled suite with like 12-year-old kids just like going absolutely nuts for Pitbull.
Yeah.
Also, so many people dressed up as Pitbull.
Dressed up as Pitbull. It's a phenomenon that people wear these bald heads and like Pitbull
and a goatee
and just walk in, but like they're 15-year-old girls. How Pitbull is very, very well known amongst the young kids.
Yeah.
Too. I guess TikTok, there's music goes blast on TikTok.
He was so huge when I was in middle school. Like he was mad
He was
every
the
day.
guy.
Top of the charts all the time.
Yeah, he was your generation Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes, probably.
Yeah. I loved it. I really, even though I was not feeling well at all, I remember that I know that like I'll always remember that. A lot of times I can't even remember what I did on my birthday. The last 2 years I remember my 39th birthday was like a big party at my house in Staten Island, which I then abruptly sold. And then my 40th birthday was Pitbull, and it was really awesome. By the way, did I tell you what me and Jaz think the reason why we sold our house? Did I talk to you about all that? So me and Jasmine and I really genuinely in our hearts believe, because now time has went by and we're settling down, we really believe, because for a 2-month span, like 4 days a week, we were taking mushrooms and edibles. Like we would do mushrooms and edibles. Yeah, me and
Jasmine?
Yes, we would do mushrooms at night.
We didn't know. You never told
Yeah,
us.
we would do edibles. I'm telling you, we were doing them. Like we were doing them pretty
Were you
consistently.
having panic attacks nightly?
Yeah, yes, panic edibles, but we genuinely think that like it altered our brain chemistry like in a euphoric way, where we were just like, there's no consequences, like kind of anything goes. We're feeling like a little isolated here in this moment. Let's sell the house. And all these things happened, we think, while we were kind of like constantly taking mushrooms and edibles. Because then we made a decision when we got here and like, you know, we felt like our life got really hard and we were like, we made a mistake and we're like living with like this anguish of like selling a house. Like we were not happy with ourselves. We were like, you know what, cut all this. Let's not do any of this. And then like, we kind of like took a few months, but we were like, that's why we did that. Because like we're sitting here, I could sit here today, be like, why would I ever have done that? There were so many reasons not to sell the house. There was reasons to it, but there were so many reasons not to do it. Now, like, we're just going to move forward and we can't go back. So we're like, let's just.
No, you could go back. I know you.
Let's just turn a negative into a positive. So I'm like, we're going to stay here. There's a lot of positives to living in this neighborhood where we are. We can walk stuff. It's great. But we really genuinely in our hearts believe if we weren't taking mushrooms and edibles like 4 or 5 days a week, we wouldn't have sold the house.
I just can't believe you were doing that 4 days a week, because John and I saw you have a fucking complete mental breakdown on edibles.
on weed.
I know what I took to, but that was my Canon weed. That was different.
Yeah, that's like being on Tank Sinatra Winstrol, right?
Seriously, bro. Tank Sinatra gets the good shit.
I had a long conversation with him about water.
Smithtown Water
Well,
Department.
like I brought that up to him, and then me and him were just. I was like, I'm a big bottled. Like I'm a water snob too.
Yeah.
Like I fucking go deep. Like I like try anytime I see a new bottle of water, I try it. Big
Right.
Mountain Valley fan.
You know Mountain Valley. You know what else is great? You ever have the Poland Spring, the water bottle? What's it called? the Poland Spring.
The seltzer, the
No,
small
no,
green
no,
one?
no. It's a Origin water.
not.
Dude, Google Poland Spring Origin water. Just off the bottle alone, you're gonna be like, that looks tasty. It looks leafy. It looks mountainous. Poland Spring Origin.
I love a crisp water.
Look at this. Look at those bottles. Origin. See what that?
Is it glass or plastic?
It's plastic.
Eh,
You go glass?
I like a glass. I like a glass bottle of water.
What's your go-to glass bottle of water?
Mountain Valley. I'm on the Mountain Valley hype train now.
So you have them in the house.
No, I actually, I'm so annoying, dude. I went to my local deli and I was like, guys, like, could you stock more Mountain Valley? They were like, yeah, we'll have it Tuesday. I went back on Tuesday, they didn't have it. I was like, hey, what's the deal? You said you were going to have it. They were like, we're working on it.
Oh my God, you're that. But I mean, hey, listen, I do. It does suck though that you can't have. I get it though. You can't have a glass bottle of water in a baseball stadium or a sporting event. I guess that would make sense.
Nah, yeah, you can't have glass because if you drop, it's just too.
But you used to be able to. Did you realize like 30 years ago there were no rules like this? You ready for a theory that I'm about to tell you that's been populating around through my group chat?
Okay.
Here's what one of my friends in the group chat said, dead serious, just put it out there. They said, listen, everyone says the world changed in 2016 because Trump won. It's not true. You've been brainwashed. What really happened is the world started to change and go a different way in 2008 when Obama was elected president, because Obama is secretly gay and he was putting out the gay agenda. That's when all this stuff started to happen and everything started to get like really strict, and the PC movement, all that. It's with Obama because he's secretly gay. Dead serious. What do you think of that? What's your rebuttal?
I don't know how to respond to that. That reminds me a lot of the Obama started ISIS theories that people have.
But what happens if 40 years, okay, if 30, 40 years from now, you find out that actually that's closer to the truth than you think, would you feel stupid, or you just be like, whatever?
I'd be like, damn, Chris's group chat was right. Like, there's nothing, I mean, like, it's just,
They're right about Eric Adams so far.
Are you allowed to say that?
So Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, his aides, much like Kathy Hochul, they just got FBI just raided their house and like seized control of their computers. And my boys, who are former detectives, said that this was going to happen like 2 months ago.
I was asking you if you were allowed to say that, then you just went on to
Should
say
we edit that part out?
Patreon.
Patreon.com/Christy Comedy. Put it in.
Where do you stand on conspiracy theories? I feel like you get wrapped. I feel like if somebody tells you one, you're along for the ride, at least to start.
What I like to do is enjoy it. I really do like to enjoy it. I like to say to myself, like, convince myself this could actually happen. Convince myself this is happening. I really do. Like, I really don't dismiss any of them. Like the alien prison planet one where
You like that one, yeah.
I like that one where like they feed off our negative energy, and there's a box on the moon that it's not that there are reptilian people here, but the shapeshifters is not real. Like John could be a reptilian person. He knows he's a reptilian person, and he'll be able to play it off because he's trained to do so or whatever. But he actually is sitting on my couch right now as a reptile. But Vito and I are not reptiles, and the cube on the moon is able, with technology, advanced technology, to in a millisecond change my perception of you and my brain to John, the IDF agent, not the reptile. Believe it. So
Are you into like the government conspiracies too? Like what about like 9/11 is this week?
9/11 is this week. 9/11 is tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, 9/11 is tomorrow.
Is it?
Well,
no.
John, tell us, is 9/11 on a Tuesday or Wednesday?
9/11.
The original 9/11 was on a Tuesday.
Okay,
It's 2 days from now.
2 days from now.
So 9/11's 2
Like
days.
the no planes theory. Have you heard the no planes theory?
The no planes theory is insane.
Yeah.
That there was never a plane.
There was never a plane. It was explosions from the inside. Some people say that it were holograms that had the...
That I don't believe. What I do think is the weirdest one is the Building 7 one. That really is like, it wasn't, why did that one collapse when it wasn't hit at all? Right? That's the one that
Explain it. What's the Building 7?
I think Building 7 collapsed, but there was no reason for it to collapse. They're
But
saying
what's the thought? Like, what's the conspiracy behind it?
that it was rigged with explosives on the inside like the first two buildings.
And that proves that the towers were actually explosives, not just planes.
That right. The fifth plane documentary I watched was the most nuts one, where like, did I ever tell? I told you about this one.
No.
I never told you about this one. You don't know about this one, the fifth plane?
We don't talk that much 9/11 conspiracies.
So on
with you.
9/11, there were 4 planes, right? 2 hit the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and then the United 93 that crashed. Well, there was a 5th plane, allegedly.
like the Beatles.
Exactly. So what happened was there was, I think it was a United Airlines flight. There was a flight, not on the day, 9/11. They noticed, the flight attendant in first class noticed that there was like 2 guys who were like sweating. He said it wasn't like that hot that day. They were like dripping in sweat, wearing suits. Then there was a woman dressed in a full Muslim burqa, but she really believed it was a man. It like looked like a man who was wearing a burqa, and a child who was like terrified. So the pilot, like they're like taxiing out, and the flight attendant just notices their behavior is weird, because she went in and she was like, she went, into first class while they're taxiing out. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, we didn't get they only wanted like vegetarian meals or something like that, or whatever. What would like a Muslim meal be?
I think vegetarian. Yeah.
Halal, maybe like halal, whatever like religious.
Probably
like,
vegetarian.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, I know you're a devout Muslim, Vito. So they were saying, the flight attendant was saying, oh, we're sorry, we didn't stock up on your food. And he was like, I don't care. I just want this plane in the air. Like, I don't care about the food. He was like getting mad. Like, stop asking me about the food. I just want the plane in the air. So that was like a little like weird, where they were like, okay. And then the person in the burqa who was coming off as a woman, she had like very hairy legs, like big feet. And the flight attendant was like, we didn't even know about 9/11 yet. But I just felt uneasy. So the pilot then radios into the flight attendants, because again, this is before like they would lock the door to just come to the cockpit door. So then they say, oh, planes hit the World Trade Center, where, we're not taking off. So then they make an announcement. They say, listen, there's been because this flight was leaving Newark Airport. They said, oh, there's been an incident in New York. We have to ground this plane. We're going to be going back. And then one of the guys like starts flipping out. He's like, no, you need to get this plane in the air now. You need to get this plane in the air. It's not safe for us here. You need to get this plane in the air now. And they're like, sir, calm down. You need to go. We're not taking off. So they get off the plane, like immediately get off the plane. And said, felt weird about it, whatever. And everyone leaves. They have to do like a final sweep of the plane. And they were sitting in rows 2 and 3. They have to do like a final sweep of the plane. You all right, baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just in your 9/11 conspiracy.
Yeah, she's involved. So the final sweep of the plane, they have to do it. And then when when you're about to close the plane door, there's like a worker that usually I'm sorry, the flight attendant or the pilot usually like just closes the door or whatever. So this worker from United comes into the plane, or flight attendant's about to do it and close the door, and he's like, oh, I'll close it. I'll close the door for you. Whatever, like I have to do something, maintenance on the aircraft. So she's like, okay, whatever. So she closes it. Then they leave the plane, and then all of a sudden they go to a hotel. They go to a hotel room, and which is normal, and the FBI knocks on this flight attendant's door like an hour after 9/11. Like they find them like right away. Like they find this hotel and they knock on her door and they say, "What's going on?" And tell us what's going on, and were you involved in this? And she's like, "What are you talking? Like it's all over the news." She's like, "Involved in what? What do you mean?" She goes, and then I forgot, like one question leads to another, and they say, "Well, why was you locked the door? You were the last flight attendant off. Why was the floorboard of the aircraft open? What were you looking for down there? Why would and then the flight attendant was like, "What are you talking about? I didn't open the aircraft. I didn't. Why would I do that?" She was like, a worker came and said that a maintenance worker came and said he needed to. A maintenance worker came and said he needed to look. He needed to look in the floorboard of the aircraft or whatever. And then they go, "Was it this guy?" And then showed him a picture and was like, "Yeah, that was him." Like, just think he's a regular worker. He's like, "Yeah, he's a wanted. We think he's involved in this plot. So what you come to find out is that he was looking. So what happened is the flight that these people were on, okay, there was a plan there, what they allege, there was a plan there. There was box cutters in the backs of their seats, and there was something to do in the basement of the plane where they were supposed to disable the pilot and then go downstairs into the plane hull for whatever reason. What happened was, though, is the planes, all the planes have numbers. So like call it plane 1, 2, 3, 4.
United 73, like
all that.
Whatever.
One number was off. So they actually found there were no box cutters on this plane that got grounded with the potential suspects on. There were no box cutters there. The guy messed up and put the box cutters on the wrong plane. It was like the plane right next to it. So this random plane that had no suspicious people on it, when they were cleaning up the plane, found box cutters in the backs of every seat in row 2 or 3.
That's a crazy spaghetti-o.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy. So they found box cutters and they're like, what the hell? And then they say, the FBI agent tells her that they believe that her plane that she was on was supposed to be a 5th hijack plane. They don't know where it was going to go. And that actually they said, so she said, logically, this is on 9/11, the actual day. She says to the guy, she says, well, does that mean that like somebody on the airlines was like in on it? And the FBI said, we're investigating multiple people right now that we think were assisting the hijackers from within. And then she said, oh my God, she was like, like, is there anything else like I can do or whatever? And the FBI, she was like, I'll never forget, the FBI agent said, you wouldn't believe what's going on. So the FBI agent said to the lady, you wouldn't believe what's going on. It's better if you don't ask any questions.
So, and this was all.
So that's crazy, and that's not that like they chose to not make that a big story. I just watched a documentary on it.
And that's basically just like this was a pretty tightly run operation, correct? Like
Yes.
9/11, pretty well-oiled machine on their part. This was just one. There was just one dude who was a fuck up.
Supposedly, there was a worker on United, or I believe it's United, or whatever airline, who was on the inside assisting the terrorists, who his job was supposed to put the box cutters in the back seats of these planes, and he messed up the wrong plane. Now this plane the problem was there was unusually heavy traffic on the taxi that day, and then when 9/11 happened, they shut so they were supposed to be in the air already, and then get these box cutters and kill the pilot the same way that the other pilots did. They all had box cutters. So that's a fifth plane conspiracy of like.
Do we know where the plane was going?
I don't know where it was going.
They don't have the okay.
But they know. I don't remember from the documentary.
I wasn't accusing you of being a part of it.
I know, dude. Did I ever tell you one wild story from 9/11 for me like that? I know I've told my 9/11 story, but like
if you have another 9/11 story,
could you imagine? So
9/11 too.
There was a kid in my class, not in my class, but who was in my school year, and he, 9/11 happened. So when 9/11 happened, after any kid who thought like something like bad had happened or like was just overcome with emotion, they had us all go to the library and just like sit in the library. So we go to the library, and this other kids are in there, and the one kid is crying, and he like genuinely thought thought both his parents were dead because they worked in, like he just said, a high floor of the World Trade Center. You come to find out later it was that Cantor Fitzgerald floor that everybody died. That's the floor that his parents were supposed to work on. So they were, they survived because that day they were going to work. They worked in the same building for years. They were having like a really horrible marriage, didn't talk anymore, no sex, their son was gay. And we all knew it back then, but now he's fully out of the closet. And so they were dealing with stuff, and they decided they were always, by the way, according to this kid, his parents were like early. Like you're supposed to be like one of those people, you're supposed to be in work at 9 and they're at 7:30 type thing. So they were always there early, always. Said they're walking, he told them, the parents told him later on that night, they were walking to work and the father turned around and, said to his wife, was like, like it's been 10 years of like horrible, this is not good for the kids. Let's right now, we'll call in, we'll go into work late. Let's right now go to the diner or a restaurant, whatever, across the street, and let's work on a divorce. Let's just map out amicably our divorce. And she was like, let's do it. And they went and they were having breakfast talking about their divorce when the planes hit the towers.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
the destruction of their marriage saved their family.
Saved their life.
Their family, their life, everything.
Saved their family, saved their life.
Did they stay together?
That I don't know, but I would probably say no.
I don't know. I feel like that brings people
You think
together.
it brings people together? So that was one. And then my mom.
Like, say that was you and Jazz.
Right.
If that was you guys at a diner that morning.
And we would say we were about to break up, but then 9/11/2 happened.
No, wait, what?
Oh.
9/11/2? No, 9/11/2 is your story.
Oh yeah. So you're saying would that make a I guess a tragedy like that could make you feel, at least temporarily, at least for a few months.
Yeah.
Because then eventually if you're gonna go back to your bullshit, you're gonna go back to your bullshit.
Yeah.
I got some related to that. My parents were on the rocks like 10, 15 years ago when we were still in school. And
Do you feel like it was your fault?
probably. And they were fighting, and then I think my mom was like making the decision to go to like a lawyer or something like that. And as she was leaving my parents' house, she popped both of her side tires on the left side on the way to the lawyer, and like couldn't go. And she like 10 years later, she's like, yeah, I kind of took it as a sign.
Wow,
Like, it
really?
wasn't right. Yeah, they're still together now.
And now and they have a great relationship.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. So they were
Isn't
like,
that- that's
you
crazy.
thought for sure your parents were getting divorced.
They didn't tell us a lot back then, but there was a long period where, yeah, it didn't look great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they popped the Do you imagine you found out it was like one of your brothers that just like let the air out of the tires?
See, when he started that
slashed his
story
tires.
and he said his mom was considering going to a lawyer, I thought he was going to say like that she was headed to a lawyer in like Lower Manhattan.
yeah.
No,
I
no.
thought that's where
Yeah, I
this
thought it
was
had something to do with 9/11.
No,
Yours
but
is your
it was-
Can you make it involve 9/11?
This is the 9/11 special. We're here with 9/11 that guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I wouldn't know where I was during that. I was 3, so
That's crazy that you were 3.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's literally not like you actually, that's interesting. You actually just remember like your knowledge of the world was just forming, like you're starting to learn about things when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, and 9/11 had already happened. It was already part of your history.
Yeah, I remember when they killed Bin Laden. They announced it on the school like loudspeaker.
You were like 5 years old?
I think I was in 7th grade.
Oh, right. They killed Bin Laden much later.
Years later.
Yeah.
They were like, get ready, Bills fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing, not that I, again, conspiracy, my mom's not a conspiracy person, whatever. The one thing that I always remember though, and I'm almost positive this is true, and like I didn't like hear it and like make it a story. I think like this is actually true. Is my mom, it's either my mom or my stepmom, or my friend's mom, somebody's mom, I think it was my mom, said every day, because she worked, my mom did work down there, so it probably was my mom. Every day she would go to a coffee stand, the same coffee stand right outside the World Trade Center, and get a coffee, bagel, great, nice guy, whatever, for years. That morning, she remembered, like she didn't, the coffee stand guy wasn't there. And she didn't think twice about it at all. But she remembers being like, that's weird, like, he was not there. And then 9/11 happened, and she said right away, the first thing she thought of was like, wow, that guy who's always here wasn't here. So it wasn't like, oh, what a lucky break for him. Like immediately she was like, he's involved. He knew something to not be here. Because how random is that? Like that's the day you're not here. And I'm like, maybe or maybe not. And you know what's another thing she said, which I never thought of? She was like, when we got down to the ground after like the ones have survived, she was like, there were F-16 jets that flew over right away because like the government didn't know what was happening. So she was like, we thought we were being attacked by another country. That's what because we didn't know about planes yet. We thought they were bombs. We thought like Russia or China or whoever was like fully attacking us.
Yeah, I remember the months after, like anytime you saw, like years after, anytime a plane was like flying slightly low, everybody in New York would be like.
Do you remember also feeling guilty? Well, you were too young, but how old were you?
I have a vivid memory of it. I was like 9 or 10.
Oh, you're still too young. Like I remember, like I was 17. I remember I did not jerk off on 9/11 because I was like, it does not feel right. I will not jerk off today. It just felt wrong.
I wish I could remember. There was something as a kid where something tragic happened, and I remember being like, man, I wonder when I can jerk off again.
Yeah.
Like,
that's always kind of where my mind goes. Is like, when is it okay for me to jerk off again?
how long did you wait to jerk off after 9/11?
I mean, I probably jerked off September 12th or 13th, but I remember.
Imagine he said in between towers 1 and 2.
Oh my God. I mean, somebody was jerking off during those times.
Yeah.
Somebody has it in their mind to see something terrible like that happens, and then it makes them want to jerk off. That's also, it goes the other way.
So you brought up the Islamophobia.
Yes.
I saw something on TikTok. I saw a scene from Soul Plane.
Love Soul Plane.
And I wanted to play it for
Kevin
you.
Hart's early.
Kevin Hart, yeah, which is crazy to think. And like anybody trying to get through in comedy should look at Soul Plane and be like, think about how many chances Kevin Hart had before he like finally broke through.
Right.
But I saw this scene on TikTok and I was like, this is crazy for like a commercial, like made for a mainstream, like the most mainstream audience possible. So I want you to watch it and I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay.
You gonna go ahead to low class? Okay.
He tasted like chocolate.
No. Ay, Dios mío.
Sofia Vergara.
What is she doing? Watch her.
Nowhere without us, Osama. If you
Oh,
got to go to
shit.
the bathroom, we going with you. She holding and I'm shaking, player. That's right. It's cool, y'all. It's cool, y'all. We got this. We security up in here. Let's.
Yo, that's fucking wild. Osama.
That's crazy, right?
I mean, it's.
What year did Soul Plane come out, John?
2004.
So like that's not even like
Yeah.
right after. Like that's 3 years later.
Listen, it's one of those things where, I mean, it seems crazy now, but back then, I'm telling you, dude, there might be some truth to the group chat where after 2008, things just started to get gay.
That's what proves it.
Yeah, that proves it right. I mean, look at Soul Plane. Everything was kind of gay. I do think that, listen, I think that should be okay. I mean, comedy is comedy. Like, it's still a stereotype.
But you look, you're friends with Hassan, correct?
Right.
Hassan has told stories about like after 9/11, like what like families went through.
Right.
That's why that's crazy.
I
Like
guess.
the punchline of the joke is just like,
He's just a regular Muslim guy.
here's an Arab guy on a plane.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It's kind of nuts. But it is, but I don't know. Sometimes I just
But
feel
everybody was doing it. Like that's the thing.
everybody.
It was normal. Like it was totally normal to
Oh
make
yeah,
those jokes.
I mean that wasn't a white, because I think a lot of times like when you think like racist jokes, it's always like, oh, a white guy said it. It's like that was Soul Plane.
Yeah.
Soul Plane was doing that.
Yeah, I love Soul Plane as a
Soul
kid.
Plane is a fit dude. Kevin Hart's laugh out loud hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
Soul Plane. I forgot Sofia Vergara was in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Early Sofia Vergara.
Ay Dios mío. Who is it? Who's Isla Fox?
That's a
Latin
porn star.
stripper.
Is she a porn star?
Isla Fox is like an early 2000s porn star.
Yeah, dude. That is a crazy clip. I mean, but funny though.
Funny.
Like laugh out loud funny. Racist, yes, but sometimes racism is just funny, you know?
100%.
I mean, to be honest with you, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen is like when I'm watching like Def Jam and like they start shitting on white people. it's hilarious. It's true. It's just like when they make fun of us. I love it.
Yeah, especially like Bernie Mac making fun of white people.
Just crush white people all day.
Chappelle like putting on the white face and like doing the.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I think people are are walking on eggshells a little less now. I think it's a little less now.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I don't think like the roast of Tom Brady happened recently,
right?
And like you got to think like it's been a few years since we had a roast, right? So
yeah.
It's nice to see that we're going back in the direction of like you're allowed to say wild things about people.
Well, this is why too. Just for comedy specifically, just comedy. You know, like when Trump got elected, what happened is then you have the counterculture. So like you have like people like being so upset about that they went all the way the other way and were like, well, we got to get politically correct, and you know, because they hated him so much and they thought he was not politically correct. We're now with, you know, 8 years of, or well, 4 years of like, you know, Biden and like all that, and like it's counterculture starts to go then the other way. Like you start to say, well, things have been so PC now. So my thing for comedy, just comedy specifically, if it's like 4 years of Kamala, then the pendulum will keep going, and like comedy will get Kamala, and it will keep getting, like you'll be able to get more and more jokes out, and the pendulum will keep swinging in a way that I think will allow us more and more creative freedom, just comedically specifically. Where if Trump wins, you worry that then the pendulum starts to go the other way and you go right back into PC movements and, you know, kind of getting put in the box again.
But you brought up earlier that you used to say wild shit, right? You brought up you brought up what you said if it's above 95 degrees. Did you feel like you had to stop making those jokes or because of the culture, or did you feel like you just outgrew them?
I think it's probably both. I think I don't want to say outgrew them, but I think what happens is like, through just like osmosis and like what's around you, you start to feel like guilt about it, where like you didn't feel, bro, the shit that I used to say in public on like Facebook status posts was, I wouldn't even like, I'd be scared to text that to you today because I know now that the phone's listening and can post my stuff whenever they want.
The thing you got in trouble for with Netflix was like the most tame thing you said.
So dumb. Yeah, that's what, but that was at the height. That was, when we filmed that show, Trump had got elected like 4 months earlier.
Yeah.
So it was like knock jokes were the only thing that was acceptable back then.
Yeah.
So I think like, you know, dude, I was on a Facebook memory the other day, popped up, and then I tagged a comic in it, and then I DM'd that. I looked at that. I hadn't looked at his profile in a while. And one of the last DMs I had to him was in 2016, like December of 2016, or maybe even before. Maybe it was like right before Trump got elected. And he was like, "Oh, how are the shows in Minnesota?" And I go, "They were good." I was like, "The crowd's like, you know, hit or miss." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then I go, "Yeah." I go, "You know, a lot of them seem like Trump supporters, so we got to be careful." And then he was like, "Oh, I know. Thanks for letting me know." And I was like, "Why would I would never, like, why would I say that?"
That doesn't sound like you at all.
That doesn't sound like me at all, but that was 8 years ago. And I think the sentiment of things at that time was like, I was still believing in like the mainstream media and buying like the narrative of the mainstream media and buying the narrative of like my peers around me in comedy and thinking like, this is how I have to be. And then like, that's all changed now. Now I'm like who I just want to be. But I was like, oh shit, that was only 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was talking like that. So it's like, I think we forget too, like we're different people in different moments in time for different reasons. By the way, I just said to Mike last episode that I only want to ever put out things that are funny. And I've been talking and not making one joke in the past 3 hours. So just shut the fuck up, Chris. I hate
You told a 7-minute 9/11 story. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing? Theo Von Donald Trump was good, though. Theo Von Donald Trump interview was good.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? It was good, right?
Very funny.
Doesn't Theo bring up like he did coke or
Yeah. He does like coke analogies.
Was
It's
Trump being
hilarious.
funny too, laughing and stuff?
For sure. He was more like, are you like at like
He was
do you
people
still have
watching, right?
problems?
I
Yeah.
saw some clips of like, it was like a lot of like Trump just being like amazed by Theo Von.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, Theo's just doing his normal shtick, just saying crazy, like outlandish, like.
And Theo being
analogies,
like,
yeah.
"What?" But they talk about policies and stuff like that.
It was like
A
you
little
with
bit,
Theo. It was like with you with Theo when you said he was weird for fingering old women.
Yeah, Theo's the man.
Hey, wait, what's the deal with the vibrator thing?
So Jasmine got and we're going to do this on the next episode. Jasmine got a thing, I think it's called like a perineal thing, where she puts it in her vagina, and it's on, and it's like got like a little like control stick, and it's like a game that's like it's all connected, and it's Kegels for like Kegeling, you know, like strengthening the pelvic floor. And the harder she strengthens her pelvic floor and hits these Kegels, the higher her score goes. It's like a roller coaster type game. So what I want to do for next episode is have her, because I ordered one for myself. This is it. I want her to put it in her, you know, do her Kegels, and then I'm going to put it in my butt, and we're going to see who can get the higher score.
And it has like Flappy Bird and shit, right?
It has Flappy Bird. Yeah, it's pretty.
So you're just squeezing your butthole playing Flappy Bird.
Because when I came home one night and she was just like squeezing and like squirming in the bed and playing this game, I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm working on my Kegels." Hi, Delilah. What is it? What do you want John to open?
What happened to your Barbie?
I kind of killed her so I can make a Halloween decoration.
Wait, Delilah, what is that?
Gorilla glue.
Did Mom say you could have Gorilla Glue?
Yeah, so I can glue my Barbie's head to her hand so she can be holding her head.
Jazz, can she have the Gorilla Glue? Jazz. All right, don't open it, John. John, I love that my 9-year-old just gave John a bottle, and he was like, "Can you open it?" I'm like, "What if that was tequila?" John's a good uncle. Dude, I've got to take like a massive dump.
That's usually the ways you end podcasts, or you have to run to a meeting, or you have to run to the bathroom.
By the way, I want to start doing that less now. I want to start like running out of things. I want to just take my time with things.
Okay.
And not have to like just sprint away always.
Like you leave us in your house.
Multiple times. I've left you in my house multiple times and told you, and I've said, don't steal that much.
But like I think you've left us in your house more than you've been here when we finished.
100%.
Yeah.
Now we'll pod, I guess, you know, if we're moving soon, we'll pod from the new place.
When are you moving?
I mean, there's contractors going in there tomorrow.
Nice.
Contractors going in, papa. Vito, what did you ask me before? Last week you asked me something that was a funny question. Was it about insurance or pools?
Oh yeah, I just texted you and I was like, "Yo, do pools increase your property tax?"
Yeah, which I don't think that they do. Did you confirm that they don't?
I just took your word for it and then I moved on because I'm nowhere near buying a house.
That's wild to just take my word for it.
I just figured you'd know somebody who's bought like 3 houses at this point.
Right. I know. I've bought and sold them like a freaking dum-dum.
Like you've done more work than real estate agents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's real estate agents who don't go like selling 3 houses and buying 2.
We fully renovated kitchen and bathrooms in our house, lived in it for a month and sold it. I told them, Jazz, that why we probably sold our house.
Because
Right.
you were ripping edibles and mushrooms.
Oh, yes, that's definitely why we sold it.
How is he handling that? Because we did
Can you speak
podcasts
to the
with him.
microphone, Jazz? Just for a second. It's like you. Okay, you want to live in this house, you got to be on the show. That's the rule.
I'm so over this right now. What?
What were you asking her?
Girls are waiting for me.
Oh, sorry. We were just saying that we were on what we were doing. That's why we sold the house. Because of the chemical reactions in our brain.
We just don't understand how he was doing edibles because we saw him do edibles and he had full-blown panic attacks every time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because we were doing like tiny bits, like microdosing, I guess. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then at some point, we just started going like full bars.
Right. Your hair's growing out nice
We
now.
definitely weren't thinking straight. We weren't thinking
No,
clearly at
Violet,
all.
can you get off the banister, please? She's gonna
Chris,
flip
like,
over into that glass table.
I don't regret it at all.
The house or the mushrooms?
The house, the mushrooms, I regret.
The house or our relationship. Your hair looks beautiful at that length.
Thank you.
Like longer and like flowing more?
Yeah.
What are you girls doing?
I don't know. I would love to take a family nap.
All right. I'm almost done, and then we'll take a family nap.
No, we don't need you to take family nap. Like the girls and me.
Violet slept already. She bashed her head off the table. All right.
All right.
How long are we in
You
for?
gotta let it go.
This is about little under an hour, like right there.
You gotta let it go already.
Let what go?
The house. You're still
got
looking
better?
for reasons why, like we sold it. It's like whatever.
Why is her butt soaking wet?
We were on the trampoline.
Oh, and she was you were hosing it down the trampoline.
Are you all in on him doing Kegels?
Oh. That bit.
I don't think was I on shrooms when I agreed to that?
Probably, but you did agree to it, and I have it in writing.
Get off of me.
That's a little crazy.
You thought that you were signing a real estate document, but you're really signing that.
You're
Violet,
probably gonna win. You're probably gonna do better than me.
I think I will.
Let's see.
I love you.
We'll do
I
it.
love
Whatever.
my baby.
Yeah,
I
sure.
love you.
Everybody has to do it though. You and John have to get one.
Me and John will share one.
I asked YMH if they could get that company to sponsor it, and he was like, I don't think that company's going to want you inserting it into your anal cavity and making jokes about it. So he was like, I think you should just do it for yourself.
I love it though. Like I want to get one for like everybody I know.
Oh damn! I wanted to do this episode with a neck brace on. I got not a
That's
neck
cute.
brace.
Shock collar?
No, it's but that's what we're gonna do that bit. But no, it's like a neck brace that like I pump it up and it pushes down my shoulders and helps with shoulder pain, but it looks retarded.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Remind me for that one. Neck brace on. All right, guys. I gotta go play on the trampoline with my family. I got to now. John's taking a poop. It seems like Mike Cannon's comedy special next week. The podcast might change a little bit moving forward. You're going to see more guest episodes. We might start doing stuff outside. We got a lot more surprises. I promise you guys, stick with me. YouTube.com/Christy Comedy. Every Sunday, I have new stand-up going up. So for that alone, it's going to always be a minimum of 12 minutes of new stand-up. Some of them go all the way up to 30 minutes. So youtube.com/Christy Comedy, ChristyComedy.com. Come see me in your city. I'm doing live, all new material. So come to a show. If you've seen me once, come see me again. We'll be in Texas and Phoenix and Miami and Madison, Wisconsin and Salt Lake City and California. So ChristyComedy.com. Come see me. And yeah, we have big news that we're going to announce soon. I got a humongous show next year that we just found out about, so I'll announce it soon. I'm going to be coming out doing more podcasts. I'm doing Kill Tony coming up. I'm going to be doing some pods in Austin, some pods in LA. So I promise you, stick with me. The show is changing. It's going to be dope. We're a lot more locked in. Don't judge it by this episode. We were doing some things before this episode. So just know that this is the last kind of whatever episode. Things are going to start to get increasingly better here. So stay tuned. Stay with the Chrissy Chaos fan base. Don't be a Robert. Still be Wag all day, every day. As Pitbull said, turn a negative into a
positive.
like to be Tom Segura.